Now we get with several little gravel pit holes in there and ponds, and this is the big one we come to. And we're getting down there to, isn't that pretty, all those trees and the leaves there? And there's a lot of frogs there, and those frogs are not scary. Easy to catch them, just like he just scooped that one up, that great big frog. And the frog doesn't struggle or anything. You know, that's the way animals were in the Garden of Eden. Before the devil got things all messed up and got things and people eating each other. That's the way things were. Nothing hurt the other, and nothing was scared of anything. These frogs had nobody's hurt them, so they're not scared. And they love to be loved and petted. First time we ever saw these frogs, and we pick them up, and he just likes that pet. And see there, he's tame. There's a speckled one. Several colors, green and a lot of colors. And we set him down, and he doesn't even go. We have to nudge him to get him to jump in the water. And so now we got to nudge into another station break. Happiness at. One of the happy things that Bingo and I found one day was a mouse that got caught in the trailer. Bingo didn't see it, but I did. And it was caught in the trailer and couldn't get out. The trailer was empty, and I got the camera out and took his picture. And the poor little mouse was scared, running around, and I told him, I said, don't be scared. Just stay around where I could get a picture of you. I had to push him out with my hand. I said, I won't hurt you. You're out here where you won't hurt anything and where you ought to be. Now, mice are a nice thing to have, but not in the cupboard, though. You can't blame Mother for wanting them in the cupboard, but outdoors, they're fine. Well, she wouldn't want a horse in the cupboard either, would she? But they're nice outdoors. Now, the mouse got caught in the back-in gate there trying to get out, and I had to very carefully open the gate so that he could get out of there and wouldn't squeeze him. So he runs off and runs into this building and finds himself a new home. And he's happy to get away, and we are too. Now the big frog, we took him higher up on the hill and put him down so I could get more pictures of him hopping, but he wouldn't hop. He just wanted to sit there and be petted some more. We had to keep poking him, make him hop. Just showed how tame he got to be. Just in a few minutes we had him there. And he hops along. I have to nudge him, tell him, keep moving. These are moving pictures. Ernie wants to get your picture hopping. Hold him up for Sandy to look at. Sandy wasn't particularly interested until he jumped out of his hand and started moving. And then Sandy said, oh boy, he said, that looks exciting. And Sandy wouldn't hurt him though, he's just curious. He just wanted to smell him and watch him hop. So he gets back into the pond. We put him back in there and take him back down the hill and put him in the pond. Not where we're throwing stones though, because we didn't want to hurt him. But now this is a gravel pit with a lot of stones of all kinds already in the bottom. And so the stones those kids are throwing in there is not a pollution deal. And it just puts some of what's already in there. And they throw in big stones, and they take little stones and try to skip them, which is a lot of fun. Did you ever skip stones? Watch that big one splash. Quite a big whopper, wasn't it? And Sandy's been out scouting around. He's coming back now. He's going to go in and look things over. These boys are going to wade across to the other side. I don't know why for. Get the feet wet, I guess. Sandy's going to do the same thing. He's going to wade around a bit. That's a wonderful dog, Sandy. Isn't it? We find a horse tank, and a nice horse tank, too, with no bottom in it. It's the only trouble. Now, these are milkweed pods, and they get ripe, and then the seeds fly like dandelions do, and we help the nature out a little bit. And the way God made it, some of these things so that they would spread and propagate. And then we head down across the fields again, and down through past the cornfields, and our friend is going to take us down and show us his tractor. This is a diesel tractor that he runs. His dad runs another one, but he runs it, and he takes us down to show us the tractor that he runs. And that's him sitting behind the steering wheel there. And he starts it up, makes it, I don't have the sound for you, but showed a little motion there. Try to get Sandy up to the wheel with the tires, show you what big tires were, and get his picture, and then we take off and head for back for home, back to bus. Some of the kids had corn. This boy's getting a piggyback ride. And Sandy's running to catch up. He's been out scouting around again, see what he can find. He's quite a hunting dog, bird dog and rabbit dog both, and kid dog, and a house dog. The kid's got some corn in the hip pocket, probably take it home to feed the squirrels maybe. And we get back, this boy's mother has a nice refreshments for us. Isn't that wonderful? She had cider and donuts and popcorn. We sure have a good time, and that's sure a good way to end up a hike. Sandy's got to flee. Yeah. There's a jug of cider. Looks good, doesn't it? Sandy's begging for a tidbit. He gets a little tidbit, and he gets some more. Begging for some more. Now, Sandy, you eat that, and we got to take another station break now. This is another Uncle Ernie happiness ad. And one of the happy things God has provided for us and fun things is creeks to fish in and the old swimming hole to swim in. And these kids are plunging in and making good use of it. That's just what God made that for, is for them to get in it and swim and have fun. That boy got his hat on like he had afraid to get sunburned. And these two little girls didn't want to go swimming, but oh my, what wonderful, exciting things there were to explore in the bottom of that creek. I don't think either one of them ever was in a creek before. Now, Sandy's coming. That's their dog Sandy. He's coming to go and get in and go swimming with the kids. But he knows better than to get over there where those thrashing, pounding bodies are splashing in there. He stayed over on the other side. Kaploom, kaploom, they go. And now we head back to bus and for home. Now it's nearly Thanksgiving. In fact, it's just the night before Thanksgiving. And our kids and brought some of the grandchildren, and they're going to stay all night, so they'll be there. Some of the rest of the crowd will come the next day. But these kids and their daddy are down there playing with some toys that Grandma and Grandpa had for them. Usually they come, they find some new toys that we've got for them. And it looks like that Daddy is getting more play out of the toys than the kids are. At least that one there, anyhow. He pretends that, anyhow, that it takes a lot of brains to work it, and he's got the brains, so he's working the toy. But Lynette is happy to watch it, even if Daddy does monopolize all the playing. Now, the next morning, at early daylight, the squirrels are out already started their Thanksgiving breakfast out in the bird feeder, which is just 8 feet from our front window. And 3-deck feeder. And they can look right inside there and see this little girl that's running around. She got up early, one of the early risers, and she was running around and doing a little bit of crawling back and forth so Grandpa can get her picture. And she goes crawling here and crawling there. And there's 2 squirrels out there now, and one squirrel a little bit worried about that. Let's call them Mike and Ike, eh? And Ike says, Mike, don't worry about it. That's just a little girl crawling around in there. She won't hurt anything. And she goes back and forth and back and forth. Name is Sarah. There's another kid that's up, isn't there? Make a little more commotion when the rest of them get up. Now, it's right behind her is where, right behind there at that window is where the squirrels are. And they're looking in and watching her right now. Or they can, at least. Don't have the camera on to make sure that they're watching this instant or not. One of them's a little bit worried. That top one, he's a little bit worried. Oh, Mike, never mind. Ike says, Mike, never mind. That's just a little girl again. She's talking with her mama and playing with a toy. But there's more kids come. Now, boy, they're really making a ruckus now. And they can sometimes hear through that window, too, even the storm window on that. One guy said, I'm going to get out of here. It's getting too exciting. So the other one goes, too, and after they go, then the birds come in. And they flock in to get their Thanksgiving breakfast. Cracked corn is what we put in there for them. We buy cracked corn from the elevator and put in there for the birds and the squirrels, and for their Thanksgiving breakfast and dinner, too. And little Sarah says, when do we eat? When do we eat? And she starts to peek in the cupboard and looks, see anybody looking. No, you're not supposed to get in there. Okay, she shut the door. Not supposed to be in Grandma's cupboard. No, shut the door. That's the girl. That's the girl. Oh, well, get a cookie. That's what we wanted, a cookie. So away she goes. eat or cook and play. And the other kids are doing a little jitting around, and they're pretending to take pictures of those old cameras. They get a lot of fun pretending to take pictures of the old cameras. The other kids will pose for it, just the little girls pose just like they was really getting their picture taken.